Hi, Chuck here again. Thanks and welcome back to the second video in my series on building up the 210 QAV mini quad using all-in-one components. I'm using an all-in-one speed control and an all-in-one flight controller, PDB, video transmitter, and OSD. So I haven't had much progress on this build yet, but I have completed a dry build and mock-up of the components that I'm going to be using. So let's just go through that right now and I'll deconstruct that for you. So I'll be using a 1500 milliamp 4S battery. And I decided to go with a Hero session camera, and I'll be using some 3D printed parts to mount a few components in this build. So I have end caps for the session camera, and also a camera mount that I'll be attaching to the top plate. And I'll probably have to get longer screws for the mount, but on the top we'll have the camera, we'll have the battery, and then I decided to go ahead and mount the XT60 in the normal spot for this frame instead of running to the tabs on the side of the on the PDB. So I'll have the power and the video antenna mounted to the frame here. And one thing that I found out was that the supplied pigtail for the video transmitter is actually a little bit too short to be used on this frame. I think you'll have better luck on a frame that has a smaller midsection, an X style frame, a pure X. So I had a pigtail left over from another project, so it's a little bit long, but I'll be able to take up the slack and hide it pretty well. So that's the top. So let me go ahead and take that top plate off, and we'll take a look at the rest of the components here. So I talked about the 3D printed parts. So on the receiver, I decided to go ahead and mount the D4R on a 3D printed part. So I got this off of Thingiverse, and I'll have links to the 3D printed parts that I'm using in the description below. Let's see what else. Oh, the ESC I decided to mount, rotate it. I think it was counterclockwise, and have the wires come out of the front and back of the speed control rather than on the side. So I think what that'll do is that'll clean up the appearance a lot on the side, and we'll run that to the motors. And I don't think the motor wires are long enough to actually reach the ESC, so I may have to go ahead and just use the supplied wires on the ESC to wire in the motor. So I'll run the wires up to the motor, and I'll cut the motor wires short and use shrink wrap and try to do a really clean job so it doesn't look like there's really any splices going on there. So that's the build. Hopefully I'll have more progress in the next few days and be able to get this thing flying by the weekend. Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching. Bye.